Hello everyone, my name is Lamar McKenzie and I'll be doing the 2009 Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. Okay, start off with how to deal with conflict. Well, as my mom used to say, that to deal with conflict you have to hear both sides of the story to develop a good, decent response or an answer, which is what I did for this interstate conflict in Nigeria. Why is this insurgency important? Well, Nigeria is living in desperate times right now, and a lot of people are concerned about what is going to happen to this country. Um, like former Nigerian Chief Justice Dashir Mustafa said, with all the problems like corruption and violence within the country, plus the insurgency, makes Nigeria look like a failing or a failed state, which is why it's important. Here's a map of Nigeria. If you look in the northern states here in Mediguru, that is the stronghold where Boko Haram is situated. Okay, involvements. Why Boko Haram and the government involved? Okay, there's basically like two main reasons why Boko Haram is involved. The first one is which is by the name Boko Haram, which the local translate to Western education is forbidden. Boko Haram, the leader Mohammed Yusuf, didn't like the Western influence within the country, which is why he started this whole movements within the country. And the other reason was Boko Haram, the leader, he was killed within the military confinement by the military, basically, which enraged his followers and let the insurgency get huge, bigger, basically. And the government, main reason why the government got involved is because of the how they were perceived in the world. With all the attacks and stuff going on, they seemed weak, so they had to react it, because with all the girls getting kidnapped and stuff. So basically, they don't want to seem weak to other states. So that's the main reason why they involved. Plus to bring back normalcy to the country. Okay, the main reasons why the war happened. Well, there there is five reasons: religion, corruption, lack of governance, poverty, and social injustices. Okay, religion. In Nigeria, there's two main religious groups: Muslims and Christians. Muslims make up basically 50% of the country. Christians make up like 48%. So basically heathen, basically. But the main reason why religion is a problem in the cause conflict in the country is the Sharia law, which was created in 1999, which is basically started like a religious war between both countries, because the Muslims want all the states to have all the northern states to have Sharia law, and the southern states, well, basically they're against it, basically. And corruption. The corruption level in Nigeria is high. In Nigeria, the country is ranked 139 out of 176 country, which makes the citizens less likely to trust their government, basically. Um, yeah. So basically, yeah, that and lack of governance. These so religion and corruption are the primary causes of why the war is happening. Okay, and for the secondary causes, for lack of governance, well, with all the resources given to the country, it's basically spent on the state and not the people. So, like the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, is stated that a quarter or 25% of the national budget is going to state officials and not the people, which is really crazy, because at that amount, excuse me, which doesn't make sense for the state to be paid that much money while there's so much suffering in the country. Poverty. Poverty is a huge problem in Nigeria. With all the natural resources that country have, like oil and natural gas, there shouldn't be like a huge divide between the rich and poor, which is a huge problem within the country. And the last one is social injustices. Well, one of the main social injustices that caused the war is the killing of Boko Haram leader Mohammed Yusuf when it was killed in the military attack while in military confinement by the military without giving a fair trial or giving a trial. So yeah, the Boko Haram group retaliated. That basically infuriated the group, and you can see my flow chart right here with which all of this leads to Boko Haram. Okay, the threats. Internal threats. Al Qaeda and ISIS, because of the failing state, the government is not really paying attention to what's, or they can't stop what's coming in the country. Well, these attacks from like ISIS and Al Qaeda from coming in the country to help influence these northern states, which the government don't really have control over because of Boko Haram control. Boko Haram basically control those states, basically, which ultimately led to the UN bombing in Abuja in Nigeria. The external threats. Boko Haram attacks other states, other countries next to it, basically like Nigeria, Niger, and Chad. They basically go there, kidnap people, and like steal petroleum. Okay, the policies. Okay, the military policies. I use drone attacks to fight Boko Haram in their stronghold in the forests in the northern states where it's the stronghold, because the military can't really get, Nigerian military can't get to within the stronghold. Get your allies like the United States to come and bomb Boko Haram within the stronghold so they can get out. Social policies, education. Education is a huge problem in Nigeria, and the government should focus spend most of their time on these young youth within the country because of the high illiteracy rate in the country. By having proper basic school, which is elementary in the US, they have basic school, so spend more time with that. And economic policies, with all that oil within the country, they should find a lot of jobs from this. So create jobs for the youth and create social programs like food stamps. If you cannot create a lot of jobs. And in conclusion, who is involved? Boko Haram and the government is involved in the war, and the reasons for the war is poverty, religion, corruption, lack of governance, and social injustices. And the policies I created, the military policy to bomb your drone attacks, the social policy by having jobs for them. Excuse me, no, that's the social policy is a better education, and the economic policy in having jobs and social programs for them. And there's my references.